Yo, what is up YouTube? Fury here, bringing us a brand new video, and in today's video I'm be giving you guys some tips on the Builder Pro controller setting in Fortnite. Now, it's obviously been out for quite a while now, but I've been getting some questions on how to get used to it, how to switch from Combat Pro and stuff like that. But before we get into today's video, if you guys do enjoy, make sure you drop a like, subscribe to the channel if you guys are brand new. Also, don't forget to turn on those post notifications, that way you get notified every time I go live or post a new video. And if you get first like on any of my videos, make sure you send me a Twitter image. I'll hit you guys back with that follow. And with that said, let's get right into today's video. If you guys are interested in winning some free V-Bucks, we are currently giving away 6,000 V-Bucks to you guys. All you got to do to enter is like the video, subscribe if you aren't already, and turn on those post notifications, as well as follow the Gleam link in the description down below. There's going to be 6 winners, 1,000 V-Bucks each. Good luck to everyone. So as you guys know, switching controller settings does take some time to get used to, especially if you've been playing Fortnite Battle Royale since the release. I believe the initial controller setting that they gave you was standard, and then Combat Pro was another thing that started to get on the hype. Everyone switched to Combat Pro because it was part of the wave, and then of course Builder Pro ended up dropping, which changed the whole game, the whole building strategy in Fortnite for console players. So like I said, switching controller settings does take some time to get used to. I used to be hooked on Combat Pro, and I recently ended up switching to Builder Pro, and it was probably one of the better decisions in the game that I ended up doing, because it literally changes the game for building. You're gonna be building a lot quicker, especially on a controller, and anything on console that can make your building a lot quicker to somewhat compare to PC play is very important, and Builder Pro, they did really well in implementing this setting for controllers. Now, at first I was quite skeptical because it did take me some time to get used to. When I first initially switched to Builder Pro, I was really bad at it, and I figured I might as well switch back to Combat Pro, and I ended up building fairly quickly. I got used to Combat Pro, especially with the pyramid stair method right there. That was something I got used to. It used to be something that I got really good at, and Builder Pro really just didn't attract to my playstyle. I couldn't really get good at it, and it took some time. I just wasn't used to it, so obviously I switched back to Combat Pro because I was a lot quicker. But I realized that Builder Pro is obviously the way to go. Everyone's on console that got used to Builder Pro is building a lot faster than I am, even on Combat Pro, even though I've been trying. My Combat Pro building seems to be pretty quick to me, obviously, but when comparing it to a Builder Pro who uses it quite a bit, who got used to the Builder Pro setting, they do build a lot faster in the end. And you're obviously gonna you're gonna lose a building battle against somebody who uses Builder Pro if you use Combat Pro. You just really can't compare. If somebody's really good at Builder Pro compared to somebody who's really good at Combat Pro, you're obviously gonna lose. There's no comparison there. Builder Pro is the way to go, and if you aren't on it, I highly recommend it. It does take some time to get used to, like I said, but it's very important, especially later on when you start getting really good at it. You're gonna be winning a lot more gunfights because you're gonna be building structures that you couldn't do before a lot quicker, and it's a really good method to switch to. Now, like I said, it does take some time to get used to because it is a new building option, new controller setting that you haven't been, stuck on. But here's the way I looked at it, as, in a way of learning it. So obviously when you hit the building option for Builder Pro, all your bumpers turn into the floor, wall, stairs, whatever it may be. But I really got used to the two walls, or the two building strategies that you really need, which are stairs and walls. Those are like the two that you primarily use. And once you get used to those two key bindings on your controller, you can then start adding the floorboard and the pyramid. But once you learn the stairs and the walls, those are very important because those are the initial building options that you really want to go for when you're getting shot at, or when you're rushing somebody, or you're trying to build a structure really quickly. Now, L2 does the stairs and R2 does the walls. So if you can get really comfortable using those two building options right there, you can then end up throwing in the floorboard, or the flat, whatever you want to call it. So obviously you definitely want to start getting used to the walls and the stairs. Those are two very important ones, and then I'd say the flats come in after that. So I say get used to L2 and R2 on a PS4 controller, and then on Xbox left trigger and right trigger. If you get used to those two right away, right off the rep for Builder Pro, it'll definitely help you in the long run of learning it a lot quicker. That's how I really learned how to build, with Builder Pro a lot better than I used to, because I used to think of Builder Pro, in depth more. I used to think, all the pieces, I have to remember what key binding goes to what. But once you learned 2 of the 4 options, the other 2 become easier to learn, because you're already, your brain already recognizes that the stairs and the walls are set for those 2, and then the other 2 buttons that you haven't used are set for the floor and the pyramids. So once you get used to those 2 bindings, your memory skills to click those stairs and the walls become a lot more natural, and it becomes a lot more easier. So I definitely recommend, if you switch to Builder Pro, try to learn the stairs and the walls first before anything else. Don't even focus on the flats or the pyramids, just focus on the stairs and the walls, and Builder Pro will become a lot easier to learn once you learn those 2 key bindings. For those of you guys that do play with PC players, if you guys play cross-platform and you don't use Builder Pro, I guarantee you'll be at a disadvantage most of the time when you're running into a PC player, because obviously, as you guys know, PC players have their key bindings for each of the keys, for each of the building strategies and stuff like that. So if you're using Builder Pro on your console, you're going to be having a lot easier time, keeping up with their building, because you have a key binding for each of the building options. Whereas if you use Combat Pro, you got to be switching back and forth between all the different stairs, walls, flats. It's a lot harder and it takes more time to build, whereas with Builder Pro, you can just click one button, it'll go to that building strategy, or your wall, whatever, and you can place them down a lot faster than you could with Combat Pro. So if you guys do play cross-platform and you haven't switched to Builder Pro, it's an advantage that you guys need to end up switching to. It's basically inevitable. You kind of have to switch to Builder Pro if you want to keep up with these PC players and those console players that are on Builder Pro. You're probably gonna get outbuilt 9 out of 10 times if you guys are playing against another Builder Pro or Combat Pro against Builder Pro, because just Builder Pro in general is a lot faster, a lot better strategy to building in Fortnite. As you guys know, for console players to compete with PC players, it's almost impossible, just because the input delay on controllers, and PC players have an easier time using a mouse and keyboard. It's a lot more accurate, and you got a lot more key bindings on a PC, rather compared to a controller. You don't have many options, but implementing this new Builder Pro option is very important, especially for these controller players that do want to compete with PC players. It does take a little bit of time. You're obviously going to be a little bit less accurate with a controller compared to PC, but they're doing it as best as they can to implement new ways that you can compete with these PC players. So if you guys do want to play against PC players, you want to win against PC players, Builder Pro is the option to go. You're definitely going to have an easier time competing with them, keeping up with all their building. Obviously they're going to have a little bit easier time because they have key bindings for everything. Switching back to weapons, switching between weapons, switching between their building options and stuff like that. It's very hard to compete with a PC player in that aspect, but again, it is, they're getting closer and closer on console. They're trying. Obviously, there's no way possible that it could, end up being like PC unless you do use a keyboard and mouse. But they're doing their best, and Builder Pro is another really good option, a really good implementation into Fortnite for console players. And if you guys haven't switched, like I said, go ahead and do so. It does take some time to get used to, but it's well worth the time and effort that you put into it, because you're gonna be end up winning more games, winning more gunfights, and down the road you're gonna maybe be able to compete with PC players. Say a really good PC player, there's no way you can really compete with a really good console player, or the other way around. I mean, a console player can't really compete with a really good PC player. It just doesn't really work. But again, with Builder Pro, you do get the chance to at least put up a good fight against a PC player in the long run. If you guys, like I said, haven't switched, I definitely recommend it. But that'll basically do it for today's video. Hope this helped you guys out a little bit. If you guys haven't switched, go ahead and do so. But yeah, that'll basically do it. Hope you guys enjoyed. If you did, drop a like, subscribe to the channel if you guys are brand new, and I'll see you guys in the next video. Peace.